Hey guys, Steve here, and I just wanted to do a quick video on Act 3 Part 1, kind of the feedback we've gotten, and just kind of look forward into what we're going to take from that and how we're going to improve. So, first of all, thank you guys so much for all of your support. Act 3 Part 1 has received such amazing feedback, and you guys have been so kind, and it's really, really great to see, because, I mean, I've documented on Patreon kind of the struggles that we've been having. And, the last couple of months have been really, really tough. Um, and, seeing update after update not reaching expectations and seeing really that a lot of people felt that, College Kings wasn't living up to its standard. That was heartbreaking. That was really, really hard to deal with. And having problems in the team that I felt like I wasn't, good enough to solve. All of that was quite a difficult time. And now being kind of through the storm and seeing what comes out at the end and seeing how we've improved as a team and how we've come together and how we really have optimized processes and seeing how you guys have stood there through the time and really supported us. And now Patreon is going better than ever, and the Discord's going great, and the whole player community is kind of behind us, and that's so amazing to see. Honestly, thank you guys so much. So yeah, so Act 3 Part 1 has obviously been a really great update for us, and I'm super happy with it. Um, and I really just want to kind of review on what kind of went really well and what can kind of go better. So having those extra couple of weeks, because we did delay it to July, I think was really, really beneficial for us in making sure that the update was, really, really good, and making sure that we had time for extra renders, had time to revisit stuff, had time to, put in an extra overarching storyline, because that was kind of implemented afterwards, and a lot of the things that happened were changed from how they were initially and were improved, and I think that made a big difference. um we also started working on a lot of Act 2 amendments, but we could not finish all of them and could not get most of them into the game, actually, for the Act 3 release. So even though we had more time, it still wasn't enough, honestly, for everything we wanted to do. So we're going to look into Act 2 amendments when we can squeeze that in. We definitely have a lot of them prepared, but, they take time to render and they take time to write and stuff like that. But we know what we kind of want to change. Um, and we'll see when we have time to implement that. I think next to the time thing, I think the whole team came together really well, and we did have some issues. People having personal issues and stuff not being organized as well as it could be. Um, but I think having a bit of extra time and really having a strong vision for what we wanted Act 3 Part 1 to be and how we wanted to come back with a bang really helped with that. Now, that being said, there were also, we were still facing a few bugs on release day. Um, and that had, its own reasons. Mostly due to stuff being added literally on release day. So usually we have a rule, we don't want to add anything on release day, but, as so often, that never really works out. Um, so people are still adding, music or QE posts or whatever on release day, and then they're not getting tested enough. And then, we have to kind of deliver the update, and bugs exist. I think that's the risk with announcing a public release date, because I understand that, a lot of people will say, okay, just delay it then by a day or a couple hours so it gets some testing in. It's not as easy, because you obviously want to, you want to make sure that you release on the announced release day, because you don't want to delay because of hype reasons and because of just that's what the people expect, and I also want to deliver on that. So I think we need to make sure that we have some buffer time. But the problem is, obviously, if you're announcing the release date publicly, everyone in the team knows it, and then if people know, they can wait a little longer. Sometimes they will. And sometimes there's not as much urgency, and that's something we will have to deal with. But I think that's something that costs issues. So we want to try and make sure on release day there's only testing and nothing being added, because that can lead to issues. And then the other thing, what we've done now, we actually having a very big review meeting tonight where we're kind of reviewing the whole act, or the whole update and the process, and it's going to be a very positive one, I think, because we're very proud of what we've done. And we're going to go through a big list of everyone's departments and stuff, which I'm really excited about. But one of the things we're going to do is swap a few very important tasks around between team members. Because one thing that's very interesting is we have a lot of very talented team members, but they're not all perfectly positioned yet. So we need to figure out, okay, where are everyone's strengths, and because we're small team, relatively small team. Like, yes, we're big for an adult visual novel team, but for a general startup or company, we're quite small. People have been doing multiple jobs, and that means that you kind of have to make sure that everyone does the right things and not just anything. Everyone needs to do what they're best at, right? And I think we're still not there yet where everyone's really using their full potential and everyone's using their full strengths. And sometimes two people, one guy really good at management stuff, one guy really good at creative stuff, and then the management stuff's doing the creative things and the creative guys doing the management things. And you look at that and you're like, wait, maybe it should be the other way around. So that's just things we're dealing with. And while everything's in full motion with CK, it's always difficult to kind of make these changes because they take time and they take reorganizing and stuff. But we want to use the end of an update kind of to always do those. And this time it's not as much. It's not as much as we're changing. So I think it should be very nice for us to get into groove. Act 3 Part 2 is already fully in motion. It's fully plotted out. It's about halfway written at this point. Rendering has started. So we're really getting it going. We're really good on early on. I mean, it's only been a couple of days since the release, and we're already very, very good on that. So it's planned for August. Obviously, exact release date we'll announce it when we think we're ready and we have a good grasp on when that's gonna be. Hopefully, we can plan it for early to mid August. That's the goal. And yeah, in that we have, because it's already fully plotted out, so the entire storyline already stands. It just needs to be finished writing and stuff. We've got an amazing free roam plan, and it's with everyone on the Europe trip, and it's gonna be really fun to play. There's some really cool mechanics we've embedded in that, and I'm really excited. We really like story crafted and just went wild a bit with our ideas, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. Another thing we really want to do over the next couple of updates is slowly improve our sex scenes. Currently, a lot of sex scenes have little moans and nice animations, but that's really not enough. When you compare especially also to other adult games, they do a better job at sex scenes. I'm not gonna lie. I think you can make it more personal, emotional, sexy. You can make it you can add better dialogue to the sex scenes. You can add better transitional pictures. You can make it a lot more intimate and a lot more than just a couple of animations stacked on top of each other. And we really want to do that. I think it's definitely going to be a process, because when you don't, I don't think we've ever prioritized sex scenes as much, and I want to bring that more into the focus. Obviously, the story is a big part of CK, but the sex scenes should be more than just slotted in. They are an important gameplay part as well, and that's what a lot of players are coming for. So, literally, so I think it's very important that we improve on them, and I really have that as a big goal, and I think we got some really good ideas for that. For voiceover sex scenes, we'll be starting to look into those when we reach 2,500 patrons, which we're not too far away from. Hopefully within the next couple of days. And on that note, it won't be like, oh, you reached that goal and immediately all sex scenes are voiced over. That's not how development works, guys. So it's gonna be, okay, first things first, now that we have some more resources, let's look at, okay, how can we best implement those? Who can we hire as voice actors? We want the same voice actors for the same girls, right? So, Chloe should have her own voice actress. Um, Penelope, Lauren, whatever. Penelope doesn't even have sex scenes yet, so what am I saying? No spoilers here. Um, Anyways, there's generally we want stuff to happen, right? We want the right people. We want it to be exciting. We want it to work over. We want it to be done well. And obviously, guys, I know that when we did polls, not all of you wanted that, the voiceover sex scenes. You can be sure there's going to be a menu settings to turn that off completely if you're not into that, if you're not interested in that. So don't worry about that. But yeah, we want to do it right. So we'll slowly start, and maybe 1 or 2 sex scenes will have that voiceover. Maybe it'll just be one girl. Maybe it'll be new sex scenes. We'll need to figure it out slowly, and then we'll add more and more, and kind of, as always, based on your feedback. You guys know that we all read all your feedback. We have a dedicated feedback channel on our team Discord server where it just, things just get copied in, and everyone reads the feedback survey and stuff, and I go through that in very much detail, because we listen to what you guys say, and we are like, okay, how can we implement that? That's very important to us. So with voiceover section, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to try stuff. You guys are going to react, tell us how you feel about it, and we're going to adjust from there. And yeah, I don't want to make this too long, but Act 3 Part 2 is coming in August. We will keep improving, and honestly, thank you guys for all of your feedback, and thank you guys for all the positive notes in my DMs, in the comments, in the feedback survey. It means so freaking much to me. I fucking love to see it, and yeah. So, I'll see you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed this little update, and yeah, bye-bye.